Good morning, everyone. Today I'll try to just look into the gamification world. It's so popular in the last couple of years in all business environment or everywhere. But here I'll try to look into another perspective. So gamification is coming from real life or games? That is the question. So most of our games start with that cute creature. We call him Keke. So that's why all the presentations also we start with Keke. So play is an animal need. When you look everywhere, you'll see that from all dogs, pets, they love playing. Also, we do love playing, so primates need it as well. And to play is a learning tool as well as it's a bonding tool as well. If you check, if we look someone who's not playing, what we call play deprived person, we can call him her damaged. It's not my comment, it's the psychologist's comment. So if we can call a person who is play deprived social malfunction, clinic psychologists have associated play deprivation in early childhood to many mass murderers as well. And the opposite of play is not boredom, it's depression. And especially after the smartphones, we can clearly see playing is not only for kids, even though sometimes governments or some old people, let's say playing, gaming just only for kids. It's not true. So play for everyone. After the smartphone games, you can clearly see this. Plays for everyone. And play doesn't mean only gaming, digital gaming. So of course, we are in a game conference and we do develop games, but Nike application is a very good example as well. If you remember the 80s, running, jogging, it was kind of alone activity, lonely activity to do. But when you come to the 90s, it became social and much more popular. And I believe Nike application has a great role on that, and it's game. It's pure gaming because you compete with others, you socialize with others, you track your progress. So it's typically a game. Now let's talk about some connections with real life and gaming. I will try to talk about the most fundamentals, most basics of the games and try to connect them to the real life. So when we talk about games, in most of the cases, we talk about experience and experience progress. It doesn't matter if it's an RPG or a casual game, we always have an experience. We have a progress going on. So it's the real life. In the real life, it's the same. We start with childhood, and after the childhood, we study elementary school, high school, university, graduate to university. It's the same for the games. You start, your level increase. In order to increase your level, you consume different contents of the game. And in most of the cases, what is the rule? While you are consuming these contents, yes, your level increase, but when you come back and consume the same content again and again, one way, it doesn't give you the same experience, or it gives you a little experience which is not totally enough for you to proceed further. It's the real life. You graduate from the university. It doesn't give you any more experience if you study the same university again and again. So it's the real life. It goes like this. Yes, if you go back and study the same university again, it gives you something more, but just a little bit. So it will not help you proceed further. In games and real life, we have multiple short and long-term goals, objectives. In every part of our life, it happens like that. For example, if you are working in a company, you may have a long-term objective to be a CEO or senior manager, or just earn your money and go to a nice vacation. So we all have multiple long-term and short-term objectives. In most of the cases, long-term objectives are ultimate ones, so everyone cannot reach them, but they can dream about them. So games give that very easily, very in a convenient way, and in a frequent way. So a typical real-life social community. This is a picture from a Masonry lodge. And when you enter such a community, you start as an apprentice and you go to a master degree. It's so simple. In 3-4 years' time, you can go to these degrees and it's done. So for many people, they can aim this objective. But some of them, they want to be head judge, head of the lodge, or head of the Grand Lodge. So that may be an ultimate objective. Most of the people will not go for it, but some people will love to go for it. It's the same in the games. So this is from one of our most popular game, Traveling Millionaire. It's Mood Marble in Asia. So you have the daily objectives, you have lifetime objectives, you have periodical 2-3 days objectives. They all keep going on. That doesn't mean every user, every player will follow these objectives and will complete them. Some of them will love to do some of this. Some of them will not love to follow some. So what I mean, you saw a ranking table. I may prefer to be the number one among my friends, but another user may play the game to be number one globally, number one of the server. So there should be different objectives. Here, you see a collection book. Some of the users, they are collectors. So they love to collect different variety of heroes, different variety of cards or accessories. For me, that may not be a fun thing to do because I'm playing for the ranking, but for another one, they don't care about the ranking. They are playing just to collect these items and share with their friends. So the game should give multiple short-term and long-term objectives, aims to the players, and they will pick the ones they love it as the real life. You should give rewards for the effort. Again, it's the real life. When you succeed something, you want to hear the reward. Reward doesn't mean always prize, cash prize or a valuable prize. Reward can be just the celebration or just a small statue. But these people, they are working for their whole life long to get this statue and make a speech to say, I'm happy to get it. So the games also should give this in every time, in every aspect of the moment. You make a match, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you win the match and you get the celebration. But some other people, they come to an offline event, it's a kind of esports, and then if they win the tournament, they want to see this celebration. So it's the same again. In real life, especially in the business life, we keep talking about giving rapid, clear, and frequent feedbacks. While we are managing a team, it is one of the most important abilities for a manager. You should follow up their performance. You should give clear and frequent feedbacks. It doesn't mean negative. It can be positive and negative. You should say, okay, that's a very good job. Continue in that way. Or you should say, you are doing this wrong. Don't do this again. You should do this in that way. So this is how life goes on. It's the same in the games. It's a fast-forward video, but you'll see lots of feedbacks in a game. It says, oh, you got a reward, collect it. You try to collect the reward again, no, it gives the feedback. It says, already collected. It gives you notifications. Take your reward. There is a reward here. It warns you. This is your mission. Don't forget it. In the progress in this mission, you are at that step. The good part of the games, different than the real life, we do the same thing in the real life and the games, but as games do it very frequently in a systematic approach. In real life, sometimes we forget to give feedback to our managers, to our friends, to our wife. We forget it, and time passes, and it affects all of your life negatively or positively. But the games never forget it. You kill your enemy, it says leader defeated, congratulations. You make a double kill, it says double kill. So it keeps giving the feedback and it never misses. It is the strong side of the games. The games understand real life perfectly and use the real life mechanics very frequently without missing any step. Whatever you do, the game gives you feedback. Turret destroyed, leader defeated, you should do this, you should not do this, and you win the game, it gives you victory. It gives you the celebration. Sometimes we forget to celebrate. Sometimes we do a good thing, but we forget to celebrate it. We have to do, but we forget in real life. Games never do it. And then, after the celebration, you get a reward. Oh, it says, take your reward from here, shows. It's a rapid and frequent and clear feedback. It doesn't say, okay, get your reward and leave it. You have to show it. Again, in our real life, we always have an uncertainty, and we love it. When you go to outside in London, even though you check the weather forecast, it says rainy as most of the time, and you should carry your umbrella. But when you see nice sunshine, you become very happy. So it is in our lives. There is an element of uncertainty. So games also has this. If the games doesn't have that type of uncertainty, the connection with the real life will be broken and the fun will decrease. This is again from Mood Marble, Traveling Millionaire. You see, these are the accessories. It writes 30% of chance to go to the start, 50% of chance to increase the dice control, 20% coming to here, 95%. 95% is very close to 100%, but still there is an uncertainty. Think about two players. I have this accessory. It will work 95%. I think it will work every time. And my opponent thinks this will work every time. When it doesn't work, because it's still 5%, my opponent becomes very happy. I become very frustrated. But it's game because it's the life. Life has this uncertainty. When we talk about games, we always say the social part of the games, socialization. But what I see in the last couple of years, when we talk about getting socialized, mostly we are talking about social networks, communicating with people, sharing something on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on. But the reality, other people means, or socialization means, doing something together and against other people. That is what games are giving to us. So this is Guild War screen from Seven Nights. In a Guild War, you have 30 people, and your opponent has 30 people. If you attack each opponent individually, definitely Guild lose the match. Because everyone goes to the easiest opponents, and even though you win the matches against the easy opponents, the leaders of the competing guild win the match. So you should make a strategy. You should decide which guild member will attack which opponent. So this is what games are copying, games are taking from the real life. In a company, we don't have all accountants. We don't have all developers. Everyone has their own role. Some design the graphics, some develop the game, some people do the accounting jobs. So everyone has their own roles and they enjoy doing something together. It is the same in the games. A guild war is a typical example. If you design the guild war not like that, then that means you are missing the real life mechanics and it will not work. People will not enjoy. Storytelling is a part of our lives. Since the beginning, since thousands years ago, you can check the ancient history, you'll see pictures like that. People love stories. People act according to the stories. Think about the emperors, kings. To conquer the world, to attack the other countries, you need a story. Because people need a story to attack, to die for the king. Otherwise, who will die for the king? So it's the same in the games. Always there's a story. For example, in our Star Wars game, if you choose Darth Vader character, while playing the Darth Vader has a skill. So use the Force to pull the enemies in front of him. So it is the Star Wars world. So all Star Wars fans know the ability of Darth Vader. But while watching the movie, maybe you see this ability 2 times or 3 times in a 1.5 or 2 hours movie. In the game, you can keep playing it. This is the strong side of the game. Game can give you a story moment, a real life moment, very frequently. This is the strong side of the game. And when we say storytelling, for example, this is from Seven Knights. Our most powerful heroes are the Seven Knights. But when the Lords come, Lords are more powerful from the Seven Knight heroes. If you just say, the Lords came and they are more powerful, all people will get frustrated. But if there is a story behind, if there is a reason why Lords are more powerful, then all people will love it because you are following a story. Yeah, passion, it is part of our life. None of us dress same. Everyone is dressed in a different way because we love to dress like this. Games are the same. That's why we have the costume shops in most of the games. If you have a character in the game, definitely you should have a costume shop because people don't want to look like the others. They want to live with their characters as if how they feel comfortable and loved. And since the childhood, we love to imagine, and we keep imagining, we keep dreaming. It doesn't matter if we are a kid or a grandfather. We keep imagining, we keep dreaming, we love it. So games has very powerful part to give people that fun aspect. So while playing, you can keep dreaming, you can keep imagining. You can be a hero, you can fight, you can fly. So that is another strong side of the games that we should never miss. Yeah, as a last word, we are living in a playground. So games is not a part of that world. We are in the game. This is a playground. Digital games are just using the real life mechanics, but using them in a very smart way, in a very frequent way. We should never forget it, in my opinion. Well, thank you very much for listening to me. If you have any questions.
All right, that's good. Any questions for Baris? So, first, to me, this is like super important what you just talked about. If you read about psychology and you start reading about the 7 sins of life, you pretty much covered everything there. So I got a question for you, because when we raise a child and we give them like too many rewards, right? Obviously, you will ask for the reward before even doing something after that. So what do you think about this contrast of rewards versus achievement, where an achievement is really something that you grasp and it's with you forever because you achieve it? Yeah.
Well, indeed, you answered the question in your sentence. So you should give the reward as an achievement. You should not give something. I mean, if you give something without achieving anything, it becomes a gift. So yeah, I can give you a gift. I can give you anything as a gift. But if you are giving a reward, it should be achievement. So the parents should be very careful about it. If they are sharing gifts every day, no problem. But if they are giving something as a reward, they should be careful that the kid should achieve something.
Exactly.
He should feel that there should be an achievement.
And in gaming, obviously, it goes also with the retention. Like if people comes back to get that achievement versus just to get that reward that he gets every day, there's a huge impact and emotional feeling of it. All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you very
Big round of
much.
applause.